Hello everyone, welcome back to our second part of this lesson, geometric series. In the first video, we figure out the formula for this series, which is, as you can see, we need to use the first term, a1, and we need to use the common ratio r, and also the number of the terms in the sequence to figure out the geometric series. And the process probably is, can be confusing, but I really hope to share it with you this process. You know how the formula is generated. So in this video, we are going to work on two examples together to figure out how do we use this formula to work on several examples. As you can see, our calculator is on the side. So in different cases, we are going to use calculator to help us to figure out the answer. Now, let's check the first one. Find the value of the geometric series shown below. So we have several terms here, and we need to figure out the geometric series. Of course, some student might say, how about I just type all the number together to type it? Yes, you can, but see, in math, we actually learn different tools to make the life simpler, right? So since we have a formula, let's just use this formula to help us to figure out the answer. So as you can see, this everything here sequence is 6, 12, 24, and everything doubled by 2, right? So clearly, we already know the first term in this case is 6. And we also know the common ratio, which is 2. To use this formula, we also need to know the n, which is the number of terms in the sequence, which is unknown. We don't know that. So what we are going to do is let's figure out the n first, and then we can just plug into the values into this formula to find out the answer. Then how do we find the n? In this case, we are going to use our last term. So remember the last term, an, can be rewrite this as a1 times r to the n minus power. So we know the last term, the value, which is 768. So we are going to use this formula to help us to find out the n. So an is 768, a1, which is 6, the common ratio, which is 2, times n minus 1. Not times, is 2n minus 1 power. So now we are going to solve this equation to figure out the answer. First, to isolate this part, we are going to divide by 6, cancel it, and then we can just use mental math to figure out the answer. In this case, it's going to be 1, 2, and 8. And you can also use calculator to double check our answer. 768 divided by 6, okay, equal to n minus 1 power. And also, we know 128 is same as 2 to the 7 power. So if you are not sure, you can double check 2 to 7 power, which is this. So as you can see, 2 times 2 times 2, 2 times 7 times is going to be 128. So this is going to be this. And then, so remember, when you have a same base, you have a same exponent, meaning n minus 1 equal to 7. Clearly, n is 8. So now we know how many terms we have here. 8 terms. Now we have this answer. So let's just plug in the value. N is 8, so it's as 8. The first term is 6 times 1 minus 2 to the 8 power. Remember, n is 8. Then 1 minus 2. So now I'm going to remind you, when you put in the calculator, make sure you have parentheses around the bottom. Otherwise, if you just put a divided by 1 minus 2, they will give you the wrong answer. So now I'm going to put that this way. 6 times, I'm going to put the parentheses, and then minus 2 to the 8 power. This is it. And divide by, I'm going to put the parentheses, 1 minus 2. And you can see the answer, which is 1,530. So that's our answer. I'm going to show you what happens if I do not put parentheses around the bottom. So I'm going to keep this one. You probably can use arrow to get that expression directly, but This is not what I, so if you just put a divided, you know, if you do not put the parentheses here, you just put a divided by 1 minus 2, then the calculation will do the whole answer here divided by 1 first, then whatever the answer you have, they minus 2. See, you will get a very different answer here. So that's why whenever you put this in the calculator, if you want to separate the two parts and then do the answer, that's fine. That will definitely secure the answer. If you want to put everything together in the calculator, do not forget to put the parentheses around the bottom, so that will guarantee you find the right answer. Okay, so that's our first answer here. Now let's move on to the second. Okay, Maddie is training to run in a race. She runs 15 miles in the first week, and each week following, she runs 3% more than the week before. What is the total number of miles? Oh, Rowan, sorry, it should be Maddie. Over the first 10 weeks of the training, rounded to the nearest thousands. Okay, so let's see this. When you see runs 3% more, we know this is actually is like ratio. This is actually ratio telling us, right? So the first week is 15, the next week is 3% more. What does that mean? That means 3% more like this. And then the next is going to be 3% more, is going to be 3% more again. So it's going to be exponents is raining until this is come to the 10 weeks. So, and remember, this is talking about the total number of miles. That means we need to add all the miles Maddie is running together, not just last the 10th week. It's total number of all the 10 weeks together. So we need to add them together. So apparently, this is a question of the geometric series. So now let's write down this formula again to remind us. So let's write down what are the things we know. First, we know the first term, which is 15. And also we know this is a 10 weeks. So n meaning is 10. So, and also now we need to know the ratio. Remember, it's increased by 3%. So we are going to convert it to the 0.03 plus 1. So the ratio is 1.03. Okay, so some student might say, why this is not 0.03? Just like exponential growth, you increase, you are increasing, but if you just multiply 0.03, it's actually decreasing. So that's why whenever we say increase by, you always use 1 plus that, exponential growth factor to figure out this answer. So the R here is 1.03. Now, let's put it into the formula. So n is 10 is going to be 10 here. So A1 is 15. 1 minus, which is 1.03 to the 10th power because n is 10. Divided by 1 minus 1.03. Again, when I put in the calculator, I'm going to remind myself to parentheses around this so I can guarantee I get right answer. So it's going to be 15 parentheses 1 minus 1.03 to the 10 power because this is 10 weeks. Parentheses, then divide. Again, I'm going to put parentheses so I can guarantee I get right answer. Okay, so I put everything in the calculator. Now enter. So this is going to be 171 and there are so many decimals. So let's go back to check what's the question asking us. Rounded to the nearest thousands. Thousands meaning 3 digits after decimal. 958. The next number is 1. We are going to get rid of this. So it's going to be 1.171 and 958. Okay, so that's a total miles Maddie is running over the 10 weeks. Okay, so this is an example I just want to show you about the finite geometric series. Remember, this formula works for the limited terms, number of the terms in a sequence. And I hope these two questions help you have a better understanding about the geometric series now. And thank you so much for watching this video. See you soon, everyone. Take care.